welcome to Cosmic Turtles. My name is Tina. We're gonna do a pick a card. So this will be pile number 1, pile number 2, and pile number 3. And smudged with Palo Santo stick. And let's begin. Welcome pile number 1. So we're using Diana Cooper's Wisdom cards for the first card. And for the other card, it is the Enchanted Map. From Colette Baron Reed. I really like her cards. And we're also using these red ones here. That is the Dreams of Gaia. I'm going to do mostly intuitive read. If I need to look in the book, I will. And then these cards here, these are the ones I made. I write things on them. And I made a little deck. And they kind of seem to align and everything. So, for deck number 1, we're going to start with the Oracle cards. So this one is meditation. So for those of you that picked pile number 1, meditation at this time is a good idea. It's going within and finding out who you are, finding out what you need from you, what you need in your life. You can see it right there, and I'll read it, although I can't read backwards. So, prayer is talking to the divine, while meditation is listening. When you still the chatter of your mind, you enter the silence where all things are known. Connect with the universal consciousness and synchronize with your infinite potential. Here lie enlightened answers, which enable you to act with certainty and a deep knowing. Your decisions become wiser and your joy contagious. Remember that a quiet mind bestows immense health benefits and sense of well-being. It enhances your power to manifest your vision. The affirmation for this card is, I create time to meditate. It's part of your self-care to create time to meditate. You get to know yourself better and what your actual wants are. So this is for the first card, for the first pile. For the Enchanted Map, we have Magical Map Shifter. Ooh, number 52. 5 and a 2 makes a 7. 7 is the number of the unknown, the number of mystery. Look at all the options you have around you. Meditation could be a good idea because it'll give you an indication of what would be the best path for you. So, Magical Map Shifter. So you get to shift the reality you want to see. You get to decide on what you want, but first you got to know what that is. That's why meditation came out first. And just like this picture, you're kind of going through it blindly because it's not with the physical eyes. Nothing is as it seems sometimes. You could, have a good deal and maybe it's not something that is such a great deal. So using your intuition is like kind of being blindfolded, but you're going by feeling what would be the best option for you. And for the Dreams of Gaia, you got number 1, and it's a child. So be open-minded and open like a child would be. Whenever you do decide, like when your head and your heart, whenever you go into meditation, your head and your heart aligns and you make a decision to go forward. Go forward with a childlike way, like open to what comes to you. It's because it's new beginnings, right? you'll have a better sense of what's going on if you stay open. Because if you go in there with prejudgment, things will just not match up inside of you, and then you'll be like, what's going on? I don't understand. And it's normal if you go in with prejudgment or assuming. So it's best to go open-heartedly, open mind, and accept what comes in as it comes in. Through meditation, you'll be stabilized on the inside when you use meditation before going to something. You'll be better prepared for what's coming because you'll already know what you want. And, my cards. Align to your purpose. To align to your purpose is, let's say, you want peace, you want balance in your life. Well, you gotta be peace. You gotta be balance within first. Because we're like magnets. However it is we are on the inside, you get to know that through meditation. But how you are on the inside and how you maintain that state of being, that's what you become, like a magnet. That's what attracts to you. So if let's say you're the best example I can give you, what happened to me was when I was pregnant, I'd go out for a walk in the public or in a mall, and then I noticed everybody that was pregnant because my main focus was I'm pregnant. Let's say you're driving a Ford or a Chev or Pontiac, whatever it is you're driving, you'll go for a drive on the highway and you'll notice every vehicle that's the same type as yours. So align to your purpose. First, find out what that is. When you know what that is, you know, like everything will align itself for it. Sometimes we don't understand where life is bringing us, but trust the process. Be like that child. Be open. Trust the process that you're being taken care of. So that is the message for pile number 1. Thank you. Hello. Welcome, pile number 2. So we're going to start with the Oracle card and what it says. Clarity. So those of you that chose pile number 2, clarity is needed on your part. Allow your inner wisdom to dissolve the chatter of your thoughts. A still, clear mind sees everything from a higher perspective and enables you to view your life more accurately. It is time to clarify the issues in your life. Notice the simplicity of truth and the limitations that complexity places on your ability to see what is of value. Wisdom guides you to find quiet space for yourself and contemplate your business and personal life. When you have a clear vision, you will make perfect choices for you. Affirmation: my mind is as sharp and clear as a diamond. So that is the card, the first one for pile number 2. Clarity. The second card from the Enchanted Map is Balancing Act. Woohoo! Alright. So while you align and want to know, like while you're getting clarity on what it is that you want in your life, at the same time, you gotta balance things on the inside of you. For things to remain clear in your life, you need to be able to put everything into balance within you. Because once it's balanced within you, then the outer experience starts reflecting that. It's all along the lines of how much you believe in yourself, right? So if you look at this picture, wow, it's number 11. So you balance the duality in your own life. You balance your nurturing and protective side, which would be the equivalent of nurturing would be the feminine side and protecting would be the masculine side. We have both energies in us. It's it doesn't matter what sex you are, right? So it's balancing those energies on the inside of you. There's certain times where you're asked to be more in protective mode. There's certain times in your life you're asked to be more on nurturing mode. And part of that nurturing is also taking care of yourself as well. So balancing act is also taking the time for self-care. When you do self-care, that's where you enter the phase of clarity. That's how you can get to clarity within yourself as well. Because if you don't take time for yourself, then nothing will be clear, right? So balance the things in your life. Make that clarity within. Be clear of who you are, what you want, where you want to go. The how will be revealed to you as you go along. And then Dreams of Gaia Tarot. You have 8 of Fire. Now this one I'll have to go and check on the inside. I'll have to go and read it. Here, I have a little stand here so you can see it. 8 of Fire. Let's go see in the book. 3, 4. 8 of Fire. If I look at it intuitively, it looks like rising from the ashes. It's like when you get clarity in your life and you have that balance, you'll feel like a phoenix rising out of the ashes, basically, because things will be revealed. Like you'll see much more clearly. You'll feel more stable within yourself. And then it'll be like that feeling of the phoenix rising out of the fire, like rising out of the ashes, excuse me. And you'll have a new perspective on life, which will give you a better idea where you want to go. You'll have a revelation about yourself, basically, and you'll be like, oh, I didn't know that about me. Wow, okay, well, that gives me new ideas. I want to go this way. You set it clearly inside of you, and then you move forward. Once you're clear about something, you go forward, right? And you do your best all the time. So 8 of Fire. There we go. Once you reach that clarity and that balance, the keywords for 8 of Fire is action, change, transformation, transmutation, rebirth. Just like the phoenix rising out of the ashes. Freedom, renewed purpose, joy. So the key phrases is transformation through action. So you got to make the first steps. Nothing's just going to be done for you. You got to start making the first steps for yourself, and then things start rolling. Change on a physical level, so you'll start to see a lot of progress in your life. You'll see the proof of it manifest in front of your eyes for you. No one else will really understand it. You will, though, and that's what's important, because you're the one in your own shoes, right? You're the one living your own life, right? So that's the whole point. It's a time to act. Give something a new purpose. Transmute negative energy. That's part of that balancing act, is transmuting negative energy. If someone wants to, the famous saying, if someone wants to hand you lemons, what do you do with it? You make lemonade. So it's basically doing that with yourself as well. A renewed sense of purpose. Don't be lazy. Inaction may yield unwelcome changes. If you let life happen to you, anything can happen, and you won't feel like you're prepared or balanced, and everything will be foggy. But if you make the first steps and know where you want to go, the how will reveal itself, but where you want to go, that will become more and more clear for you. If you don't do anything, things will just keep happening to you instead of you making them happen for you, right? And it has nothing to do with anybody else. It has to do with you. If you're someone that likes networking, well, if you're pleasant and you're doing things in a very if you're kind, if you're open-minded, if you're straightforward, people appreciate your authenticity, and they'll be more willing to help you out than if you're trying to manipulate, because people are getting more and more in tune with their sensitivities, and they're getting more sensitive to what's actually being shown in front of them. They've had time to reflect, they know who they are, people are getting there. It's nice to see. And most of us, since we were little, we had a natural lie detector. We learned how to not listen to it, and now since we had a lot of time on our hands, we learned to listen to it more. So that kind of grew. It's like we start listening to ourselves a little more, and it's better to go the authentic way than to go the manipulation way. You can try the manipulation way. The thing is, you'll have a whole long lineup of consequences coming back at you that won't be pleasant for your experience. However, either way you choose to go, it's still your choice. It's whatever you want to experience. And then for card, the one, inside of balance, balancing act, the card that I made. Balance time for loved ones. Remember where you come from. If it's possible, make some time for your loved ones. That could be friends that became like family to you. That could be your own children you haven't talked to in a while. It could be your parents you haven't talked to for a while. So we're older. We can have older parents, right? Even though we're already adults. And make that time. It doesn't have to be long either. It's quality over quantity. So every little bit counts. Even if it doesn't seem like much, it could be a lot for that other person. So make that time and balance a little bit of time for your loved ones. And that's the message for pile number 2. Thank you. Welcome, pile number 3. So we're going to start your reading with the Oracle cards from Deanna Cooper. And this one is Imagination. So I'll show you. This is the card Imagination. You can pause it, and if you want to read it yourself, but I will read it as well. So, images are the building blocks of creation. With a rich imagination, you can transform an idea into something innovative, inspiring, and successful. The sky's the limit, and fantasy becomes reality when you ground it. Your images, backed by correct action, have the power to manifest your dreams. So give yourself permission to dream today. Make sure that your focus is positive and wholesome, for your imagination can work against you as well as for you. Remember that achievers always have a clear vision. Affirmation: I expand my possibilities with imagination. See, there's a fine line I noticed between imagination and assumption. Some will imagine things that aren't even there. And I don't mean like seeing things. I mean like you have part of a story and then you imagine the rest or fill in the gaps when you don't have all the info. And then it will lead you to believe differently about a person or a situation, and it's not even that. And then at the end of it, when you do get the real info, you end up feeling really badly, especially if it created a whole chaos of a situation and made it worse than it didn't have to be. Right? Those things are happening right now in this time as well. And it's very important to use our imagination in a good way. Like they say, if you're going to use your imagination, imagine it for yourself or what you want for your future. In a positive way, in a wholesome way. Be authentic. Know clearly what you want. Clear away all the dogma and what superstition and what suspicion could be there, because it's the lack of trust. You don't have to trust everybody. You gotta trust yourself. And for you to trust yourself, you got to know yourself. It's just like any outer experience. For you to trust another person, you got to know them. You got to know that they got your back. Well, do you know that about yourself? So get to know yourself. Be clear about what you want. Move forward. Once you have that clarity, move forward. And then you can use your imagination to create, like imagine what it would be like if you had this, and maybe not necessarily having things, but if you chose to feel this way, or if you had all the money in the world, what would you do? That's usually an example people give you. And it's, what would you do? And then let your imagination go wild in a good way, because you're going to enter the stage of, you're going to allow that part of you that hasn't spoken to you in a long time. The next card is encouragement. Look at that. So that part of you that haven't really communicated with most of us for a long time is our inner child. That's the aspect of us that when we were younger, for the most of us, it's the inner child that got injured. It could be a past trauma of sorts. And we buried that inner child because it was the vulnerable part of us. Then we entered the adventurous teenager stage, or totally bypassed and went to the responsible adult, regardless of what age we were at. And then later, the next stage would be the wise elder. That's when you we extract wisdom from our experiences. Now, the inner child, if we want to be able to move forward, because we feel we have a lot of blockages, if we want to move forward, we got to heal that inner child. There's a lot of encouragement right now for the collective and opportunities and time to be able to heal that inner child, to allow it to come and play. That's how it heals. It has to play. You got to use your imagination, use your creativity, whatever it is you're interested in. And it could be very intellectual what you do. It has nothing to do with being childlike. It has to do with allowing that creative side to come out and to be expressed. It's probably a long forgotten need, and now you're being asked. If you pick pile number 3, you're being asked if you can do that for yourself. And there's a lot of encouragement. You have a lot of support around you, and it'll be support sometimes from unlikely sources, which is very odd, but at least you remember them. When something weird happens, we tend to kind of remember those, especially if it comes out as a positive outcome for yourself as well. So you're being given encouragement. Encouragement also to put to rest all those limiting beliefs that you had to have for a while for survival mechanism. You know, like you had to be a certain way to survive. You had to put that child away, that inner child away, protect it at all costs, bury it, don't let anyone see it, because then they can use your kindness for weakness, etc., etc. Now is the time to put aside all those limiting beliefs and to emerge back out as your authentic self. Well, that child on the inside is not used to life, not used to coming out to play. So people are shy, people are feeling differently than what they did before. And there's encouragement. There's a lot more support than you think, because we're pretty much all in the same boat right now. And there's a lot of us that are willing to help out, at least to say our own experience, how we got over things, or how we managed to get to our next step somehow. And, you know, there's more people like you than you imagine. The next card is from Dreams of Gaia. Ooh, an earth sign one. Yep. X1V. So that'd be 14 of earth. Look at that. Oh, look how beautiful that is. Oh. To heal the inner child, one of the ways is also connect with nature. Nature is there to help. Even if you just sit under a tree and let's say you draw, you can go draw in nature. If or by water, or if you grow things, then springtime in the northern hemisphere right now, so plant seeds of the plants you like and nurture, give yourself some time connecting with nature some way, somehow. Even if it's basking in the sunlight, get your vitamin D in you. Vitamin D is really good, you know. It keeps a lot of, it keeps your immune system really strong for you. So 14, let's go see what the meaning is in the book. I have a little stand here, so I'll put this up here so you can look at it. All right, 14 of Earth. Is it 14? 13, 14. Look at that. Is it X1V? X1V. King of Earth. Look at that. Woohoo. So King of Earth. Virile, successful, industrious, devoted, steadfast, authoritative, reliable, dedicated. Take pride in accomplishments. Pay it forward. Honor your process. Now is not the time to make changes. Life is meant to be enjoyed. Free yourself from control. Don't be lazy. Be careful of abuse or misuse of power. So how does this relate with encouragement? Is it be yourself? Unapologetically be yourself. Use your imagination. Use your imagination how you want to go forward in your life. Maybe not how, but where you'd like to go. How do you like to feel by the time you get there? And the card that I choose is, that I made, the cards that I made. This is the message that came through. Surrender to love and practice compassionate action. So this is the message for card number 3. Thank you so much for subscribing, listening to my channel. And if you want to make a donation, you're welcome to do so as well. And just check my information down below. You'll find it. Thank you so much. See you later.